This is the first stage of Soul Reaper or Shinigami players. The quote, "he is literally me," refers to how every Shinigami or Soul Reaper player will see a character in the show and immediately think, wow, he is literally me. From his backstory to how badass he is. Ichigo, Captain Aizen, the guy literally named Chad, even though he's a Fullbringer. Lots of these guys also just give themselves names of prominent characters in the Soul Society arc like Kisuke or Yoruichi. Alternatively, in Stage 1, it's just a new player who knows Soul Reaper initial progression to Elite Grade is easier than Arankars because you don't need to go through the Fishbone and Meadow stages. Also, I said initial progression, not Shikai and Bankai. Before we get into Stage 2 though, a quick word from today's sponsor. And today's video is sponsored by Babbel. Babbel is a mobile and web app that helps you learn to speak, read, and listen in new languages. Babbel has quizzes, games, videos, and live online classes to help you learn your selected language. Learning a new language is a very valuable skill that you could learn. Being able to communicate with people regardless of their language is insanely undervalued today, and having the ability to speak more than just English can be very valuable, especially in a workplace environment. You could also use it to connect with your family, who may speak languages that you don't quite speak or understand, like the generational disappointment that you are. Babbel is also proven to help people reach their language goals, and if you don't like Babbel, they offer a 20-day money-back guarantee that allows you to take your money back if you don't see adequate results in your studied language within 20 days. Podpišiš ili ja tebja sijem. Without Babbel, I couldn't threaten my Russian audience and leave cryptic messages for my English audience. And if you are Russian, then the entirety of this sponsorship is already a cryptic message. So why not use Babbel to learn to speak English? To get started with Babbel today, click my link in the description and comments section down below to get 60% off of Babbel so you can start learning a new language today. And back to the video. The Soul Reaper starts out doing basic progression throughout most of this stage. Stage 2 occurs from grades 5 to 2. This stage is pretty grindy for the Soul Reaper player, and a lot of them get bored and quit the game at this point because the game is either uninteresting or it isn't, you know, like frying their dopamine receptors. After reaching grade 2, many players will try to achieve their Shikai. However, obtaining Shikai is extremely boring because it utilizes one of my favorite video game mechanics, waiting. To get your Shikai initially, you needed to meditate for an hour straight, which also means you need to hope your server doesn't get into a raid while you're meditating. Luckily, they decided to make it 3 stages at 20 minutes each to circumvent this. The Soul Reaper player undergoing Shikai training is getting bored, but they've already put too much time into this game to quit, and they're now undergoing time cost loss fallacy. Many Soul Reaper players at Stage 4 just become actual gambling addicts. The reason for this is their Shikai. Statistically, most people end up with common Shikais incapable of competing with many legendaries, especially with Bankai, and because of this, they become addicted to gambling and spend thousands of Robux and potentially hundreds of dollars in an attempt to get a legendary, or at least the rare Flame Shikai with a good weapon. The Shinigami or Soul Reaper player begins to get angry with lots of things. Anger from not getting a legendary Shikai or weapon, anger from getting jumped by other Soul Reapers and Arankars and Quincy's, and anger from Quincy's just existing. I don't know why, but any Soul Reaper, even if they've never even fought against a Quincy, automatically hates all of them. And anger with the realization he has spending problems and has put way too much money into this silly little Roblox game. After reaching the Elite Grade, the Soul Reaper has felt a sense of accomplishment. However, at the same time, they feel kind of empty, because they no longer have anything to directly work towards except their Bankai or continuing to gamble, at which point they might go for their Bankai. Many players quit at this point as well, due to the fact that they don't want to grind for Bankai as they don't feel it's worth it without a legendary. Especially because legendaries easily outcompete the modes of commons and rares, so it's not even comparable. The grind for Bankai begins. The most direct method is the 170 raid wins, but some of them form a 10-man gang squad to go for the 10-hour ranked method. Regardless, Stage 7 is a huge turning point for these players. At this point, he's either gotten a legendary Shikai or given up on getting one and just wants something to do in this game. Stage 7 is a pursuit of enjoyment, because getting Bankai isn't fun or rewarding, but what is the struggle of getting Bankai, and that's why Stage 8 is... The Shinigami players' happiness has plateaued, and they are no longer enjoying themselves playing the game. They believe the futile grind for Bankai will make them happy once more, but at the end of the grind lies nothing. No happiness, no goals, no purpose. Why even bother playing the game anymore? Your build is essentially complete, there's nothing left for you here. You no longer have purpose here. Leave your futile problems behind and quit the game, which is what a lot of them do. But on the other hand, they might continue into Stage 9. Visored. The only thing you can hope for now. After achieving Bankai, your only purpose now is to get the 10 Hogyoku fragments and achieve Visored. Alternatively, they take some demonic, evil, vile backshots for the fragments. However, this stage is a desperate attempt to find something left to do within this game. Anyone farming for Visored simply wants to go back to their first time playing. Despite all the hate for Type Soul they wish for, and they harbor within their hearts, they could do it all again because their enjoyment didn't come from being strong, it came from the journey to this strength that we all must cross in order to find peace within ourselves within this game. The Soul Reaper has finally achieved Visored and realized they no longer have purpose here, and they don't need to be here. They have ascended into a new plane of existence within Type Soul. They come online every few hours to use their Bankai, leave, and come to do it all again. All anger within the Soul Reaper has subsided. There is nothing left but pure bliss within the mind of the Soul Reaper. They have achieved peace and enlightenment. They no longer have reason to be here, but they are here, and they don't know why. Stage 11 is the hidden stage, Captain. Realistically, nobody will ever truly achieve this stage, and this is because only CC players and YouTubers are really capable of becoming a Soul Reaper Captain. This is a new stage only obtainable by those select few, which is why you will not be able to obtain it, and most of you watching this video will never even see it happen to someone. Oh, anyway, vegetable tier list. The carrot is gonna be B tier. They're not very versatile. You can eat them raw or in soups and stir fries, and they're overall mid, but they are still decently well, so B tier. Avocado is A tier. I know not everyone likes them, but I definitely do. Personally, you can put avocado in anything and I'll eat it, and they're really good for you. Potato is S tier. Super versatile, lots of ways to cook it. It can be a side or a main dish depending on how it's prepared, and they're a healthy carbohydrate and starch. Onions, super versatile, tons of ways to make them. Sauteed, caramelized, jammed, onion rings. S tier vegetable easily. Tomatoes, not a vegetable, but they're savory, not sweet, so I will rank them here. But anyway, they have to be S. They carry pizza, they carry sandwiches, sauces, ketchup. How could you not put tomato in S tier? It literally has to be an S. Garlic is A, great for seasoning and can carry some dishes like traditionally basted steaks. Corn is so mid. I'm tired of all the corn glazers. Corn is like B tier for basic and boring and dumb. Popcorn is also just an inconvenient snack. It's salty, dries out your mouth, it's buttery, gets on your fingers, and the kernels get stuck in your teeth. I'm gonna group spinach and kale here together, and they're going in S tier. But wait, hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. Okay, so the nitrates in kale and spinach increase blood flow. So eating a lot of it will increase your blood flow, which is good for two things. One, muscle retention and size, and 2, erection health. Eating kale and spinach can increase the size of your penis and result in you getting more hard on average. So these are going into S tier for spinis. Cucumbers, F tier. I don't care about your opinions. No, I'm not counting pickles. Pickles would be like an A or a B at least. Cucumbers are F tier. They taste like nothing, and they're boring, and they're garbage. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed recording it. I hope you guys liked the video. Give me your money. Goodbye. And buy a YouTube membership and join my Discord. Goodbye.